My father said I owed him $200,000 by the time I was 16. My father kept a notebook where he wrote down everything he ever spent on me. Every meal, every piece of clothing, every time he drove me anywhere had a price. By the time I was 10 years old, I owed him $142,000, and he expected me to pay it back. The notebook started the day I was born. Hospital bill, my share, $4,200. Diapers for the first year, $800. Formula, logged to the ounce and calculated to the penny. You think raising a child is free? Dad would say while updating his numbers at the kitchen table. You think I'm running a charity here? Everything has a cost, and you're going to learn that. Every birthday present went on the tab, every school supply, every doctor visit, and every prescription. He charged me rent for my bedroom starting at age 6, $50 a month. He charged interest on the total balance, 5% annually, compounded. The debt grew faster than I could ever hope to pay it down. Dad put me to work as soon as I could hold a broom. Cleaning, yard work, laundry, cooking. He paid me $1 an hour and immediately deducted it from what I owed. I worked every single day after school and every weekend, and the number never went down. It only ever went up. When I was 8, I asked if I could go to a friend's birthday party. Dad pulled out the notebook and flipped to the current total. You're $98,000 in debt and you want to go to a party? You want to go eat cake and play games while you owe me almost 6 figures? I didn't go to the party. I never went to any parties. My whole life was the debt. No friends, no activities, no childhood. Just work and the notebook. Every Sunday, Dad would sit me down and show me the updated numbers. You're at $156,000 now. That's what you cost me. That's what you owe me. A person who doesn't pay their debts is worthless, and I'm not raising someone worthless. At 16, I finally got a real job at a grocery store. I was so excited to make actual money, to maybe start paying down the number and eventually be free. I came home with my first paycheck and Dad was waiting at the door. Hand it over. I thought maybe I could keep some of it just for lunch at school or something. Dad grabbed my wrist hard enough to bruise. Did you forget what you owe me? Did you forget the $180,000 sitting in that notebook? You can have spending money when you're out of the hole. Until then, every dollar you make belongs to me. I did the math one night after a double shift. At minimum wage, even if Dad took every single penny I made for the rest of my life, I wouldn't pay off the debt until I was in my 60s. I was never going to be free. The number was designed to be impossible. My manager, Patrice, started noticing things. I never bought lunch. I wore the same clothes every day. I flinched when anyone mentioned money. One day, she asked why I looked so tired, and I made the mistake of telling her the truth. I told her about the notebook, about the debt, about the 17 years of itemized childhood that I was going to spend the rest of my life paying off. I showed her a photo I'd taken of the notebook. Pages and pages of my father's handwriting calculating exactly what I cost him. Patrice stared at the photo for a long time, and then she looked at me with an expression I didn't understand. Honey, she said slowly, this isn't a debt. Parents are legally required to feed and clothe their children. He can't charge you for being born. I didn't believe her. That wasn't what Dad said. Dad said everything has a cost. Patrice called CPS that afternoon. 2 days later, a social worker showed up at our house and asked my father about the notebook. Dad didn't even hesitate. He was proud of it. He showed them 17 years of meticulous records. Every page dated and organized, every expense categorized and calculated. She's at $203,000 currently, he explained, pointing to the latest entry. But she's been working hard. If she stays focused and doesn't waste money on frivolous things, she should have it paid off by the time she's 45 or 50. The social worker asked if he was joking. Dad looked offended. A person who doesn't pay their debts is worthless. I'm teaching her responsibility. I'm teaching her that nothing in life is free. Do you have any idea how many entitled kids there are in this world because their parents just handed them everything? My daughter is going to understand the value of $1. Sir, you can't charge your child for raising them. That's not how parenting works. That's not how the law works. The law? Dad laughed. This is family business. This is between me and my daughter. She knows what she owes. Turns out you can't charge your child $200,000 for the crime of existing. Dad lost custody and I lost the debt. I still check my bank account 3 times a day just to make sure the money is actually mine.